Well, hi, I'm Joe Crolder from the History Department, and welcome to this little video on the basics of reading notes. First of all, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you're not in my class. You're in an English class, economics, science, physics, geography, what have you. Um, all us professors at this particular community college want you to remember what it is that you read. And taking reading notes actually gets you to that point. So let's go over a few basics. Any discipline can use this, and that's certainly true of you. Now, before we take reading notes, we have to know what book it is, or textbook, or article, or primary document that it is that we are reading. And then we need to be able to find it later. So notice this is Microsoft Word. I'm just going to type in here reading notes. And then if I'm asked to read from a book, I'm going to look at the author of the book and write that author's last name. Just for grins, I pulled out one of my favorite books, which was written by Edmund Morgan. So I'll type in Morgan's last name and the title of the book: American Slavery, American Freedom. And I'm also going to take a look at the publication date of this particular book or article that I'm looking at. There's a reason for that, because over time, certain periods of time, schools of thoughts were really popular, especially in history. If you go into the 19th century, Whig historians, or the Whig school of thought, was real popular. That was replaced by the imperial school of thought, and then so on and so on, and all these different schools of thoughts come and go. And Edmund Morgan is certainly a creature of his time, and you see that this book was written quite a while ago in 1975. So some of what he says in here actually might be a little dated. Anyway, we're ready to save the document, so we're going to do that. Hit the little save button up there, and there it goes. Reading notes, Morgan. And that's one of the reasons I didn't put any punctuation in it, is that reading notes, Morgan, American Slavery, American Freedom, 75 will all come up in the title. There it is. Okay, we saved the book. Now, I do something that's called dialectic reading notes, with a combination of something called SQL. Now, you're all going to go, well, what does that mean? Well, dialectic really means that there's two sides to the paper, a left side and a right side, drawn right down the middle. And when you read something, you're going to have a reaction to what it is that you read. So let's put in a table just for grins and go down like that. Now you notice when you generate a table, you have this side and you have the right side. And on this side would be part of the conversation, or Morgan would write on this side. So as you're reading, Morgan says something, profound statement, and you write that down. Now over here is you're on this side of the paper, and you're going to write your reaction to Morgan's profound statement. Pretty cool so far? The reason I point this out is oftentimes when you read, and you read a profound statement, you're going to go, wow, I need to remember that, and you write it in. But unless you do this part, your reaction to it, it really doesn't sink in. That's the magic of dialectic reading notes, is that you're actually creating a conversation with the author. What? What? Yes, it's true. So I'll show you an example. Let's take the true title of his book. By the way, I can write that up here, and for grins, there it is. Edmund S. Morgan, American Slavery, American Freedom, colon, the ordeal of colonial, misspelled, Virginia, New York, W. W. Norton, 1975. So I can go down here, and I can go, the full title is, let's see, American Slavery, with a comma, Then we throw in a little American freedom, and a colon, the ordeal of colonial Virginia. Now, oops, that is Morgan's title. So what's my reaction to that title? Now, remember, this is just very basic, but I want to ask Morgan why he titled this. So I don't have Morgan in front of me. Am I talking to a book then? No, I'm actually talking to Edmund Morgan. And follow my logic here. If Edmund Morgan is not in front of me, and the only thing that I have is Edmund Morgan's book, his work, I think somewhere in his book he's going to refer back to his title a little bit. So after reading this title, after typing it out, Morgan's title, I'm going to ask him a question. First question, how can you put slavery and freedom together like that? Second question might have to do with, so is this just particular to Virginia, or is this indicative of the South or even northern colonies? Follow me. Morgan came up with a title. He probably did not do it on his own. He probably had help from his peers, from his editors, from his wife, but he eventually chose this particular title. And he did so for a reason. I know he did. Historians spend an inordinate amount of time coming up with a great title. So how can he put slavery and freedom together the way that he did? American slavery, American freedom, the two just don't go together. It doesn't make sense to me. And is this particular to Virginia, or is this indicative of the South, or even the northern colonies? Somewhere in his book, I just know that he's going to address those questions. And that's what, and the reason we have dialectic reading notes for, is to carry on a conversation. And that's part of the reason why we have dialectic reading notes. The other part is this, the SQL. And the SQL stands for scan, and the other one stands for learn, and there's a question in there somewhere. We have to question the book. I just did that. I haven't scanned it yet. I haven't learned anything yet, but I have questioned the book just from the title. And we're going to stop right there for right now, and then we'll come up with another document soon.